The Stoic art of saying no without guilt. There is a strange kind of exhaustion that does not come from hard work. It comes from saying yes when you wanted to say no. Yes to another favor. Yes to another meeting. Yes to another responsibility. Every time you agree against your better judgment, you give away a small piece of your time, focus, and self-respect. Most people struggle to say no because they care. They want to be kind, dependable, and useful. But without boundaries, kindness turns into resentment, generosity becomes self-neglect, and availability to everyone else leaves you unavailable for your own life. The Stoics understood this problem long before the modern world filled our calendars, inboxes, and phones with endless demands. Their answer was not to become cold or selfish. It was to become clear. To the Stoics, a good life is guided by reason, virtue, and attention to what is within our control. Your choices, intentions, and conduct belong to you. Other people's reactions do not. That is where the art of saying no begins. You are responsible for the honesty and character of your answer. You are not responsible for making everyone comfortable with it. Marcus Aurelius warned himself against being ruled by the opinions of others. Constant reaction to outside pressure, he understood, eventually destroys command of the inner life. A Stoic no is not an act of aggression. It is an act of alignment. It means asking, does this request support the life I am trying to live? Is it consistent with my values? Do I have the energy to do it well? Am I saying yes from generosity, or from fear? Many false yes are expressions of fear, fear of rejection, conflict, or being called selfish. We tell ourselves we are being nice, but often we are trying to control another person's opinion. The Stoic response is simple: release what is not yours to command. You can speak respectfully and show care, but you cannot guarantee approval. Their disappointment belongs to them. Your integrity belongs to you. This does not mean ignoring others. Stoicism values justice, cooperation, and service. But help given without wisdom can cause harm. Overcommitment leads to poor work, broken promises, neglected relationships, and bitterness. A thoughtful no can be more honest than a resentful yes. Imagine a colleague asks you to take on another project. Your schedule is full, but you feel pressure to appear committed. You agree. Soon you are working late, losing sleep, and rushing existing responsibilities. Everything suffers, and you begin blaming your colleague for asking. But the request was only a request. The decision was yours. A Stoic does not waste energy accusing others of crossing boundaries that were never stated. The Stoic takes responsibility: I agreed when I should have declined. Next time, I will answer with greater honesty. This is not self-condemnation. It is self-correction. Saying no without guilt requires understanding the difference between guilt and discomfort. Guilt is appropriate when you violate your principles. Discomfort is what you feel when you protect your principles and someone else does not like it. Suppose a friend invites you out, but you are exhausted and need rest. Declining may feel uncomfortable, but a kind and honest refusal is not wrongdoing. The discomfort is simply the price of respecting your limits. Not every unpleasant feeling means you made a bad decision. The Stoics trained themselves to examine impressions before accepting them as truth. When the thought appears, I am a bad person for saying no, question it. What exactly have I done wrong? Have I lied, insulted anyone, or broken a promise? Or have I simply refused a request I am not willing or able to accept? Often, guilt dissolves under examination because it was never moral guilt. It was social anxiety wearing a moral disguise. One useful Stoic practice is to pause before responding. Many people say yes automatically because they feel trapped by the moment. The request arrives, the other person waits, and silence feels unbearable. So they agree before considering the cost. Replace the automatic yes with a deliberate pause. Say, let me check my schedule. Or, I need time to think about that. Or simply, I cannot commit to that right now. A pause creates space between pressure and choice. In that space, reason returns. You do not need a long defense. Over-explaining often signals that you believe your boundary is illegitimate. You start presenting evidence and hoping the other person will declare your refusal acceptable. But a boundary is not a courtroom argument. A clear answer can be warm and brief. Thank you for thinking of me, but I cannot take this on. I appreciate the invitation, but I will not be able to attend. That does not work for me. These sentences are not cruel. They are complete. Saying, maybe, when you mean no only prolongs discomfort. Elaborate excuses teach you that honesty is insufficient, while a half-open door invites continued pressure. Stoic clarity is respectful because it does not manipulate. Expect some resistance. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries may call you difficult, distant, selfish, or changed. Perhaps you have changed. Growth often looks like selfishness to people who were comfortable with your self-abandonment. Their reaction does not prove that you are wrong. Still, examine yourself honestly. Are you refusing from wisdom or spite? Are you protecting a meaningful priority, or avoiding a duty? Are you setting a boundary, or punishing someone? A Stoic no should be firm, but never vindictive. The goal is not to reject people. It is to choose your commitments consciously. Every yes is also a no. When you say yes to an unnecessary obligation, you may be saying no to sleep, health, family, creative work, or peace of mind. Time is not unlimited. Seneca warned that people guard their money carefully while allowing others to waste their lives. Your attention is part of your life. Spend it deliberately. This becomes easier when you know your priorities. A person without clear values will be ruled by the urgency of others. But when you know what matters, decisions become simpler. Ask yourself, what deserves my best energy in this season? Which responsibilities are truly mine? What kind of person am I trying to become? What must I decline to remain faithful to that direction? These questions turn no from a negative word into a form of devotion. You say no to distraction because you are saying yes to purpose. You say no to manipulation because you are saying yes to self-respect. You say no to constant availability because you are saying yes to presence. You say no to what is urgent because you are saying yes to what is important. Sometimes the most compassionate answer is yes. Stoicism is not avoidance. Duty may require sacrifice, and discomfort is not always a reason to withdraw. Boundaries help us distinguish real responsibility from endless pressure. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Before answering a request, consider 3 questions. Is it right? Is it mine? Is it sustainable? If it is right but not yours, someone else may be better suited. If it is yours but not sustainable, the terms may need to change. If it is neither right nor yours, decline. When you say no, accept the emotional aftermath. Your heart may race. You may replay the conversation or feel tempted to send another message explaining yourself. Let the discomfort be there. The Stoics did not seek a life without difficult emotions. They sought the ability to act well despite them. Courage is not the absence of guilt, fear, or tension. Courage is refusing to let those feelings make your decisions. Over time, each honest no strengthens your trust in yourself. You learn that disappointment is survivable. You discover that healthy relationships can tolerate boundaries. You notice that people who respect you do not require constant access to you. Most importantly, you stop living as though your life must be approved by committee. Your yes becomes more meaningful because it is no longer given from fear. Your help becomes more generous because it is not poisoned by resentment. Your commitments become stronger because they are intentional. This is the Stoic art of saying no without guilt, not indifference, selfishness, or hostility, but disciplined honesty. You cannot control whether others misunderstand you or feel disappointed. You cannot control every judgment or story they create about your boundaries. But you can control whether your answer is truthful, your tone is respectful, and your choices reflect your values. So the next time you feel pressured to say yes, pause. Remember that your time is your life in visible form. Remember that a request is not a command. Remember that discomfort is not wrongdoing. Every worthy life is shaped not only by what it accepts, but also by what it refuses. Say no when reason requires it. Say it with kindness. Say it without anger. Say it without a long defense. Then let go of the reaction. Your task is not to please everyone. Your task is to live with integrity.